Hey everyone, it's Jake, and today we are going to be talking about Ministra, the new SSR Awakening Ranger units coming to you guys right now. So we'll talk about what the Ministra's skill set is about, some of the unique mechanics she has with her skill kits, and some of the gears options that you can have for her, along with the PvP and PvE usage and all the usual stuffs. But anyways, let's jump into this video and talk about Ministra. The main thing is she is a 5-cost Awakening Ranger unit, so much like Isuyan, she is also able to attack all range, so not just the ground units but also able to attack the aerial units for the 5 costs, so she is very good value already there. And not to mention, she does a lot of AoE hits with her skills. Basic attack does 2 valid hits, and her special skills does 3 valid hits, as well as the ultimate does it as well. Now the main thing, the uniqueness she has with her passive skill has this ability: every time a unit dies within the field with her attacks, she will summon this swords floating around the map, and within that area, enemies who's on that area will be getting debuff on themselves. And debuff is attack speed, as well as a skill haste 33%, which is pretty incredible debuff that you can do to the enemies and make your frontline units survive for longer. Now there's another additional passive skill that she has when you max out her skill. When her HP goes down below 60%, she is able to spit out this one additional tank unit, and this Spirit is really tanky. So not only for the 5 cost, she's able to do all this debuff, and she is also able to do a great damage. When her HP goes down to below 60%, she's able to summon this really tanky units that's able to hold your front line for a long time. And Ministra's special skills is also very strong point over DPS. She does a large AoE hits, and when enemies get hit by their special skills, they will lose 100% of their healing ability. So Ministra is also a very good anti-healing character that you can use against enemies, especially within PvP. And her special skill has additional effect when you max out her skill. Every time she uses her special skill, it resets the cooldown time of the duration of the swords. So more you use her special skills, the more runtime you have with those swords that she summons within the field. And her ultimate skill is pretty simple compared to other long lengthy skills. She just does AoE damage, which is still pretty good, and she is also able to summon 2 additional swords within the field when she uses ultimate skill. So to sum it up, she is very good 5 cost Awakening Ranger units that can cover both aerial as well as the ground units, and she is able to apply all these different debuffs to the enemies, not to mention able to summon really tanky units at the front line when her HP goes down below 60%. Now when it comes to her gear options, I think it is pretty straightforward. You definitely want to go all the way with the cooldown sets, and the key part of course is always the mace pieces. If you have a full mace cooldown set, just roll with her and you'll be totally fine. Now if you want the extra miles, it is the challenge weapon that you can unlock, and this weapon boosts her special attacks, and her special attack is pretty strong. So you probably want to use this to save your mace slot as well if you have a cooldown piece for this weapon. If you happen to get attack sets or the anti-striker set, I would say keep it, which is because you will use this anti-striker set on her pretty well and use a full set out of it as well against this challenge boss that you'll be facing to farm T7 gears in the future with the Ministra. Ministra is a really good unit to fight against this boss, and Ministra with the anti-striker gear actually able to do a crazy amount of DPS onto the boss itself as well. I personally run, of course, the cooldown set with this challenge hand weapon because I don't really have a better anti-striker set. But other ones I've seen of people doing, yes, anti-striker set definitely works. So if you don't have a lot of set binaries to play around with and you don't want to invest into that hand, especially if you get a striker set, anti-striker set, or attack sets, I think stop there. Another option, as always, Shadow Hole gears are also pretty good gears you can use. It's just that only works with the one type of enemy, so with the PvP you might be really varied depending on the enemies, but if you just want to melt down some units, yes, the Shadow Hole gears will definitely work out and able to bring you the victory that you want. When it comes to PvE contents, I think Ministra is definitely one of the cheesy character you can use or many different content, especially within challenging content. You can use within challenge dungeon as well. You can use her within Shadow Hole. Other than raid, I think she's pretty much used everywhere. She's used within weapon challenge dungeons. Like, she's basically used in a lot of places. Now, is she must have units for PvE? I think she's definitely has way higher value than compared to other awakening units when it comes to PvE, and you will definitely use her a lot. Some people ask me, why don't you use a Ministra? I always want to use different units here and there, and I guess I kind of got sick of using Ministra too much. That's why I try to avoid using Ministra, so I switch back to units once in a while, but I always go back to Ministra if there's a challenging contents I have to face for the first time. So Ministra in that case is really strong PvE units. Now, only thing is within Shadow Hole dungeons, I think for the X5 right now, I haven't really bothered using Ministra because I have other units I can use, especially within Sniper class, and Shadow Hole 5 is mainly fighting against the striker enemies. So yeah, Ministra is probably not the best pick there. You can still probably use her, no problem, but I just like to use the better units there. If I have to give a rating for Ministra for PvE contents, definitely 5 out of 5 character, and you will not regret playing her for PvE contents. When it comes to PvP, Ministra had a crazy good runs within Korean server, especially this cancer auto comp thing used to be a thing. It was used to be one of the soldier units as well as Ministra competitions, and basically they auto it. I lost a couple times by it, and when you lose to auto comp deck, it really drives you nuts, like, trust me. But anyway, there's that. For C server, you're probably not going to feel the same experience because you have different units available right now, but you don't have this one unit, which is Amy, and Amy is probably what killed the Ministra for really good within Korean server, because Amy is pretty big counter against those kind of really strong ranger and sniper units, because she is able to pull them from the backline and more towards to her, and that really killed her, I think, because Ministra can do all she wants, but Amy just pull and bring her close and able to just shred her pretty easily. So when the Amy comes out for C server, I guess Ministra will probably appear a lot less, but I think I still see once in a while, but I never really lose against Ministra. Maybe once in a while I lose, but I don't really see her that often anyways. But Ministra, I think, is still a very good character, so whenever the healing meta comes back, the Ministra will probably pop out and say hi again to just wreck your comp. But we'll see what will happen with the Ministra. But overall, I think if you pull her right now with the C server, you should have a lot of fun with her, and she should be able to destroy some asses, I think. So we talked about a lot of things on Ministra today, and hope you guys have a good understanding about her. Personally, I think Ministra is deeply tied into the lore and the story itself and the next demon lord that you will fight. But anyways, I like Ministra, and I think she's very worthwhile units for your tickets, so go and pull her if you've been waiting for her. I think she's very worthwhile units, even though she is definitely a lot less favored with the PvP and Korean server. For PvE sections, she is still a way to go units. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Jake. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.